What is going on in the Tampa Bay real estate market? Hey, it's Sean Reddy, Keller Williams Reddy Group, and this is our monthly segment called Market in a Minute, breaking down some of the metrics that we study on a day-to-day basis, and we're looking at it from a month-over-month standpoint, also a year-over-year standpoint, to let you know what measures are favoring the home sellers, what metrics are favoring the home buyers, and what the overall picture looks like. So stay with me here as we break this down. There are essentially 9 different metrics that we're tracking here, and I'm going to segment it like this. Here's some good news if you are selling a home. Here's some good news if you are buying a home. And here's what that could mean for you if you're doing neither right now, yet continuing to monitor the real estate market. Okay, so if you are selling a home, and I'm starting with month over month here, and this is for Hillsborough and Pinellas counties combined. And if you want data, either inside of those counties, maybe at the neighborhood level or town level, or if you want data outside of those counties, we can track all that for you too. Just make sure to let us know, drop a comment, or send us a message. All right, so between Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, here's the good news if you are a home seller or about to be one. New purchase contracts jumped 6% in March compared to February. That is the 3rd straight month of purchase contract activity increasing. And also to go along with that, 2 straight months of closed sales increasing. Closed sales went up 19%. There were 3,200 plus properties that closed between Hillsborough and Pinellas counties last month. Also, the average price of what sold in that month doesn't mean values across the board yet. What sold in that month did go up 3%. Although the median price went down 1%. Those numbers, average price $522,399, median price $395,000. Okay, so let's shift focus here to good news if you're buying a home. If you're buying a home, plenty of good news that I'm looking at right here in terms of month over month data. Number 1, it took longer for homes to sell. That's good news because that gives you a little flexibility in taking your time. Also leads to sellers who may be a little bit more flexible on their asking price over time. So the average home that sold last month, or that went under contract, I should say last month, took 55 days in order to do so. Median was 28 days. So those are good for a 6% and 8% increase respectively. No streaks there. It's the first, last month. Those numbers went down. New listings went up just 2%. In February, there were 4,791 homes listed, and March 4,869. So not a huge increase yet. Good news nonetheless if you're buying a home because you have more options. Speaking of options, there was a 1% increase in available inventory, and that is measured at the first of every month. So on the 1st of April, there were 10,656 properties available for sale between Hillsborough and Pinellas counties. I already talked about the median selling price going down. Also, the delta between last asking price and closed price went down 1%. That measure is 98.8%. So in other words, the homes that sold, the median was 98.8% of asking price or last asking price. So a little bit more of a spread than it was in February. Now, let's take a look at year-over-year stats, and it's important to track this just from a broader picture, a longer time frame, longer runway, just to spot some trends here. So let's talk about good news for the home sellers out there year-over-year. Basically, it's price. The average selling price in March of 2024 was $522,000, a little over $522,000. Compare that to last year when it was $477,000. So that's good for a 9.5% increase in average selling price year over year. Now, again, that's measured just what's closed in March of 24 compared to what closed in March of 23. So it's a smaller sample size, and it's not necessarily indicative of values across the board. Important distinction there. The median selling price also went up about 4% from $380 to $395. And the median sold price to list price ratio, meaning the delta between last asking price and ultimate selling price, went up 1.4% year over year. That number again, 98.8%. So it's not a huge spread between asking price and selling price. Not a ton of negotiating power associated with that, yet important data nonetheless. Now, all the other measures year over year do favor the buyers. So if you are that home buyer looking for some good news, stay with me for the next minute or so. First and foremost, it took longer to sell a home in March of this year versus March of last year. The numbers increased pretty significantly. The average was up to 55 days, good enough for a 19.6% increase. And check this out, the median was up 47%, going from 19 to 28. Now, the raw number there is only a 9-day difference, but that's, again, close to a 50% increase. New listings jumped up year over year in March, about 10.5%, going from 4,400 to almost 4,900. But the big mover year over year is the amount of available homes for sale. And yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of dynamics going on from insurance and cost of living standpoint. Yet, when I look at April 1st of last year compared to April 1st of this year, there was a 67% increase in available homes on the market. Wow. So last year there were 6,379 homes available. Compare that to this year, 10,656. Now, that may sound like a lot. It's still very much a contracted market in terms of availability when you compare it over longer periods of time. Yet it's been a long time since there were over 10,000 homes for sale. So buyers rejoice. You have options. New purchase contract activity dropped 10.7%, and closed sales dropped as well year over year, 17.3%. So, bottom line, big picture, kind of a weaker market now than it was last year, even though prices are higher. So if you're a buyer out there, you have some opportunities to negotiate some great deals. If you're a seller out there, still some pockets where you can list and receive multiple offers based on things that I'm seeing going on. It's just not the it's not the average anymore. So again, this is a combined picture of Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, and if you want something that's a little bit more detailed or honed in on your area, let us know. Happy to geek out over these stats with you in any particular area. We do have access to all the data, and I do track it every day. So reach out with any questions. Thanks so much for watching Tampa Bay Market in a Minute for April 2024, and we will see you on the next video.